Okay, so with slope, we can also write the equation of a line using points that were given. So just remember that your equation of a line is y equals mx plus b. M is that slope. Okay, so that's that y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. It can be rise over run. It can also be move. So how do we move up or down and then left or right? And then B is that y-intercept. So it's where we begin. When we start graphing, we start wherever x is 0 and y is a number, and it's wherever we cross that y-axis. So in order to write an equation when we are given the slope, so that m, and 1 point, so a coordinate, x comma y, we can follow 3 steps to figure out what the actual equation would be. So we're going to substitute our known values, so m, x, and y, into this equation here. And the reason I can substitute those is because it says we are given the slope, so that's m, and then a point. Okay, so that's your coordinate, so x and y. Then we're going to solve for that y-intercept because we won't know what it is. And then we can just solve the equation. So in order to do that, you're going to substitute whatever your x coordinate is and your y coordinate into the actual equation, y equals mx plus b. So if you look over here, I have an example on the side. I have the slope is 4, and the one coordinate or the point that I'm given is 5, 11. The 5 right here is my x, and the 11 is my y. So knowing that I have m, x, and y, I can substitute it into this equation, wherever you see those appropriate letters. So I see y, so I'm going to put an 11 equals, I know the slope is 4, so I'm going to put that in where I see an m. And I know x is 5, so in parentheses I'm going to put 5. And the one thing that I'm missing is this b, the y-intercept. So we can just solve this like an equation now. So I have 11 equals, I multiply to get 20 plus b. Then you can build that wall, do your inverse operations, so subtract 20 from both sides, so negative 9 equals b. Then I can just write my equation, y equals, the slope is 4, so 4x, and we solved for our y-intercept, minus 9. Here I have my formula, y equals mx plus b. They're giving me m. This is x and this is y. So now you can substitute. 15 equals 2/3 times 6 plus b. 15 equals, to solve this, you can do 2 times 6 is 12, and then divide that by 3, which is 4, plus b. Build your wall, do your opposite. So you get 11 equals b. And then just rewrite the equation. Y equals, the slope is 2/3 x plus 11. You can try this next example on your own, and then we'll check it as a class. So you can pause the video. And then we can write an equation through 2 points. So given 2 points, those 2 coordinates. Remember that slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that's the change in y over change in x, or rise over run. Now there's 4 steps when writing an equation through 2 points. So first, you're going to figure out or determine your slope using the formula. Then you're going to choose one of the coordinates that you're given. Okay, it doesn't matter which. And you're going to substitute just like we did before. you're going to substitute for m, x, and y into y equals mx plus b. So just like we did before. Then you're going to solve for your y-intercept, or your b, by simplifying and solving an equation. So again, just like we did before. And then you're just going to substitute m and b into y equals mx plus b. So we have the same steps as before. So our same steps are 2, 3, and 4. The only additional step is we first have to figure out what the slope is. So if you look, I have 3, 8, and 5, 12. So those are 2 points. So I'm going to plug them in. So here's y2, here's y1, and we plug those in. And then we have x2 here and x1 here. So notice you plug them in. And we got our slope is 4 over 2, which equals 2. So now I can plug it in to this formula. My slope is 2, so I put that where I see an m. And I'm going to use the point 3, 8. So I'm going to put 8 for y, 3 for x, and then I don't know what b is yet. So if you notice, once I multiply, I have 8 equals 6. Then I subtracted 6 to the other side, and I have 2 equals b. So now I have the slope, which we said was 2, and my y-intercept is 2 as well. So now I can just plug it into this equation. And again, I showed you both ways that if you choose the other point, you'll get the same answer. So if we do this next equation, here's x1, y1, x2, and y2. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 6 minus 4 over 15 minus 9. So we have 2 over 6, or 1/3. So now I can write my equation. I'm going to use the 6, 15 point. So I have 15 for y. Oh, not y. Sorry. 6 for y. And then I have 1/3 is my slope. And then I'm going to use 15 for x plus b. 6 equals 1/3 of 15, which would be 5, plus b. Build your wall, subtract 5. So 1 equals b. And then all you have to do is say y equals, using our slope, 1/3 x, and then here's our y-intercept, plus 1. And again, if you use the other point, you should get the same answer. So just try this next example, and then we'll check as a class.